Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name is Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future. Not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I'd greatly appreciate it. So this is Thursday's show. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's show with Lucy Turner of the UN. Really phenomenal stuff. I love the concept of ideas coming from anywhere, and that the best ideas can come from anywhere. You don't necessarily say, oh, the first world nations know everything or the third world nations know everything. Every idea can come from anywhere. Creativity can emanate from any human being anywhere on the planet. That's what I love about podcasting. That's what I love about YouTube. That's what I love about the long tail. I love the fact that the long tail can create such amazing content. In fact, that's where, if you ask me, that's where all the interesting stuff is. So if you'd like to be a guest on Think Future, just hit the website at ideateandexecute.com and look for Get Interviewed. It's in the menu under a media or something like that. And fill out the form and we'll set up a prep call so that you can get on board. But I'd love to hear from you. If you have anything that appeals to corporate innovators, startup founders, or anybody who's interested in the future, product management, anything having to do with getting innovative products out the door or helping people deal with the fear of change, I'd love to hear from you. If you probably watch my show for a while or listen to my show for a while, you know that we go off on all sorts of different tangents. So if you're one of those kind of people who goes off on different tangents, I'd love to hear from you. Now, what are we talking about today? Oh, yes. One of the things, I was running an ideation session once, and I love this statement because this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm looking for when we're doing ideation. Is that, and this is what happens every time. You probably realize if you do any kind of ideation sessions, it's probably the same for you. And this is the way it works. So everybody files in. You have an ideation session, and it is scheduled at a specific time of the day. And everybody who they've just spent some of the day, unless it's first thing in the morning, they've just spent some of the day dealing with the issues of the day. And the issues of the day are probably pretty thorny and painful and whatever, but they're issues of today. They're not issues of tomorrow. They're issues of today. They're things that they have to do in their day job that they really need to work on. So when they come into the ideation session, they are stuck. Their brain is stuck in the problems of today. They're not thinking about the problems of tomorrow. They're not thinking about the solutions of tomorrow. They're thinking about the solutions of today. They're thinking about the problems of today and the solutions of today. So usually when the ideation session starts off, it's tough to get people to understand that they need to let go of the problem or the solution or whatever they're working on right now, the solution of today or the problem of today, and look at the problem of tomorrow or the solution of tomorrow or the idea of tomorrow. We're trying to move them into a place, into the future, where these new ideas can be generated. Now, sometimes we do it through storytelling. Sometimes we do it through examples. Sometimes we do it through, we have a lot of different ways of trying to unlock that future time. But one of the things I find is really interesting is that you can always tell, like the moment they actually go into, the moment they actually leave behind the present, it's almost like a palatable moment during the course of the ideation session. And you try to get people to leave the present as soon as possible. I remember somebody made the most amazing comment. They said, "Oh, you're asking for me to go into the land of make-believe." And I thought to myself, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I turned to him and I said, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm asking you to step out of today and move into the land of make-believe. Move into the land where there's no barriers. There's nothing stopping you from doing anything you want to do. There's no law, there's no system, there's no technology, there's nothing. You are free to imagine anything. Anything at all. Imagine it's 10 years from now. Imagine your customer 10 years from now. Imagine what your customers 10 years from now might be interested in doing. Imagine that. Move into the world of make-believe. If you want to call it make-believe, go ahead. Call it make-believe. But go to the land of make-believe. We're moving into the land of make-believe right now. All of the systems, all of the technology, all of the regulations, all of the laws, everything that is keeping you from thinking outside the box, from thinking new things, from creating disruptive, new, innovative ideas. Put all that stuff behind you. We are literally moving into the land of make-believe where anything is possible. This is what I like to say. It's like we are now in a place where anything is possible. This is the problem we're trying to solve. This is what we're trying to do. Now, imagine anything is possible. Imagine all those things, all those barriers that you're stuck in all day long, and even other barriers that you can perceive might be coming along. Imagine if all those barriers were gone. If all those barriers were gone, you are in the land of make-believe. And if you are in the land of make-believe, what can you imagine being created in the land of make-believe? This is where we're going with our ideation sessions. We have to go to the part where anything is possible. Once you get to the area, once you get to the space where anything is possible, then you come up with the most amazing, forward-thinking, innovative, disruptive ideas. And even if after the fact you have this amazing list of ideas and you realize, well, some of these things may not go anywhere, it doesn't matter because you've pushed the boundaries of where you can be, and some of that will fall back in to the things that you're doing today. So it's not a useless enterprise. It's not completely without point, because when you enter the land of make-believe, it expands your mind. It expands your horizons into areas that you may not have been in before, and it creates new neuro connections in your brain. It expands the connections in your brain so that you can start thinking, well, maybe there's another way of doing this. Maybe when you come across the next problem, that there may be another connection in your head that you never saw before you went into the land of make-believe. So yeah, even if these ideas don't go anywhere, they're still absolutely worthwhile when you go back to your desk at the end of the ideation session. Your neurons are firing, and who knows what else you can come up with. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.